Diving into the depths of digital debits and credits, it's Accountech Bytes, rounding up the news from the world of accounting technology with me, Tom Herbert. As always, a reminder to like, subscribe, or follow if you don't already. But let's get straight into the news, shall we? And let's start with news that our tax authority has lost almost £50 million after cybercriminals used information stolen from elsewhere to either create or access taxpayer accounts and then claim fraudulent tax repayments. Speaking to a group of MPs, HMRC were adamant that they had not been hacked. But as I flagged previously on this video, there have been recent breaches around agent accounts, a lack of multi-factor authentication in some places, and it really feels like HMRC needs to beef up the security of its digital offerings. But life for them and for accountants could get even more difficult thanks to this new wave of AI being used to create fake identification. So this is news that a Polish researcher used ChatGPT to create a fake passport that was approved by a Know Your Customer platform, past a KYC check. We've seen increased compliance around these areas in recent years, and automation and automated systems have been flagged as a way to streamline some of that. But it does feel like cases like this expose a serious gap in the way that digital onboarding is being handled. I'd love to hear what some of the AML experts think about this case. However, this particular issue has been slightly debunked by a digital ID nerd who's talked about the inaccuracies surrounding ChatGPT and similar programs. However, they do go on to say it's not a question if AI can create a fake ID, it's when, and systems need to be ready for that. Next up, and Australian e-signature provider FuseSign has launched into the UK market. Already one of the leading providers of e-signatures in Australia, eSign brings its solution to the UK, tailored specifically for accounting firms at a time of increasing legislative and technological complexity. More insights from Down Under now, and James Rose, co-founder of information chasing tool Content Snare, has flagged something from Google here. So as you can see from the graph, purple counts the number of times Content Snare shows up on Google, blue counts the number of clicks. The point of divergence? When Google released its AI overview system, the thing that sits at the top of your Google search, unless you tell Google specifically not to. If you do use search for your business, it's well worth reading around this topic. A quick update from the QuickBooks Small Business Index from last month. So employment at UK small businesses decreased by 3,800 jobs in May. Here's the chart. Accommodation and food services saw the biggest growth in employment, whereas finance and insurance saw the biggest drop percentage-wise. Interesting. Slightly more positive news across the pond from Xero, and in their State of the Industry report, they found that nearly 3/4 of US accountants and bookkeepers reported increased profits from the past year. Some interesting facts from Unit 4's Built for Growth report as well. So just 46% of cash flow management is automated. Senior finance decision makers spend 2 days a week on average consolidating financials in the run-up to year-end. And 1 in 5 organizations took longer than a year to integrate company systems following a merger or acquisition. A couple of podcast updates now, and while I was in Atlanta for the Sage Future event, I caught up with Sage Chief Executive Steve Hare, who told me about how they're embedding artificial intelligence into their platform, how AI will change the profession, why being an accountant at the helm of an accounting software company can be useful, and some of the challenges of moving from that CFO to CEO role. You can find that by searching for Accounting Web wherever you get your podcasts or visiting this page. And since my last video, we released our magazine podcast, No Accounting for Taste, where I had a supremely nerdy ramble about trends in mid-market cloud accounting software. Let's head straight for MTD Corner now, where burgeoning bookkeeping and accounting suite Coconut is available now for making tax digital for income tax. So, using Coconut, you can send quarterly updates, submit your end of year self assessment return for now, and manage the bookkeeping. Here they are on HMRC's software available now list. You got to hand it to them. It's a stroke of genius, popping an at before their brand name to get to the top of the list. It's an Aaron A. Aronson move. A couple of other additions to the list as well. TaxCalc, under their trading name of Acora, are confirmed on the list. And ClearBooks has listed a free product alongside their paid-for version already on the list. And I also caught up with QuickBooks Director of Product Nick Williams to find out how they're gearing up their tech stack to meet partner needs ahead of the MTD IT mandation in April 2026. Let's head over to Investigators Inglenook now, where Tom Bickle from JP Blackmore has filed a Freedom of Information request with HMRC to find out how that MTD income tax beta testing is going. Some pretty stark figures. So, as of the 30th of April 2025, 266 agents had signed up to the public beta. 833 customers had signed up for MTD for income tax testing. 130 test submissions had been made using compatible software. Not sure what accounts for the drop off in Q4. Based on those figures, HMRC said the program remains on track for launch in April 2026, but they include contingency to implement technical fixes during public beta testing. Perhaps most remarkably, HMRC's marketing budget for raising public awareness of MTD for income tax is £1 million in 25-26. This feels low. Well done for Tom for getting hold of this information. Keep us posted. In the meantime, our very own managing editor, Richard Hattersley, is heading up the MTD Accountability Club in partnership with Sage. This is an ongoing focus group to track the highs and lows of accountants' MTD preparation. If you're interested in joining, then drop Richard a line or leave a comment under this post. Finally, from MTD Corner, our very own Jake Smith is joined by Sage's Chris Downing on a webinar 17th of June at 11 a.m, where they're going to be talking about the MTD Toolkit, so products to serve every type of client. Let's stay MTD adjacent for the start of our new stuff section now, and Xero has announced that its Xero Simple program is now available for small businesses. I'm sure you'll all remember I wrote about this back in February. So Xero Simple is its new MTD product for sole traders and landlords. It takes over from its non-VAT cash book as its tool for clients with simple affairs. It was only available for Xero's accounting partners, but it's now available for UK small businesses as well. Now, last year I flagged a raft of releases from Dext, but this week I want to highlight one in particular, the supplier name aliases. So keeping those names consistent can be tricky when you have lots of variations, but with this new feature, Dext can help manage these name differences automatically so your data stays nice and clean. Estonian practice management platform Uku has had a spring refresh, so it's got a new dashboard where you can move tasks around to keep things tidy, colourful status bars and email traffic lights. Here it is. Not sure if this chap comes with it as well. Next up, what's new in Iris Elements? So they've launched a video playlist collating all their videos onto one page. So here's the video library from getting started right through to submitting tax returns. Now, I mentioned Content Snare earlier. Here's two for the price of one, and they have a new feature. So as well as collecting info from clients, they now have a client portal feature, making it easier to share files with their clients. That's in beta at the moment. Maybe one I should have included in MTD Corner, really, but QuickBooks chap Aaron Patrick has recorded a video comparing a couple of MTD products, so Xero Simple versus QuickBooks Sole Trader and their functionality, which, as I'm sure you'd expect, he handles extremely even-handedly. A couple of quick tips here from the Bright blog, highlighting 3 hidden features in account software that can boost productivity. So we're talking instant editing of final accounts, built-in e-signing, and one-click IXBRL production. Some interesting insights on ICAW here, where large firm Moore Kingston Smith talk about how they use a commercial generative AI model as the basis of an in-house software tool. And finally, kudos to Jan Korechki from Data Molino, the data extraction tool for Xero, QuickBooks, and Free Agent for building Invoice Invaders, the game that lets you zap that paperwork. Sorry, Jan, I only made it to level 9. A bit more practice needed, I think. Right, that's your lot for today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, or follow. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye for now.